Yo, what is going on? Welcome in everyone to episode 18 of Oz Talk with the Wind Dummies. We're going to not have just a good show. We're going to have a great one. If you haven't heard of Christopher Mattison, well, you're going to learn today. Dude has so much disc golf memorabilia, maybe more than anyone on the planet. How much stuff does this dude have? Well, we're going to find out today. But first, as always, let me introduce you to the stars of the show, the one-time world champ, Chris Smith, aka Smitty, and the step pup master, Mr. Ronnie Unruh. Gentlemen, how are we feeling tonight?
Yo, what's up, boys? Excited to talk to Matty, man. I haven't had a chance to catch up with this dude in a long time, and he's one of the oldest of the old schools that I know of, man. We started playing about the same time, so I'm excited to talk to Chris.
Yeah, he's been around for a long time, and he is quite possibly the most mellow, coolest dude you're ever going to meet.
He's up there for sure.
Just met the dude, and already I'm agreeing. Dude seems legit. So let's just bring him on right now. You're going to already be in for a treat. You have to see this setup with this camera. And here he is, Mr. Chris Mattison. There he is,
gentlemen.
guys.
How
Let me move you.
today?
It's the coolest set we've seen from a guest so far. I can tell you that.
Oh, thanks, gentlemen. It's an honor and a pleasure to be on today.
Well, yeah, for us, real pleasure for us and real honor.
Awesome.
So, yeah, I'm looking forward to see where this conversation goes. Just a little bit that we tried to share at the beginning that we had to cut off. So, I'd say we just start with the story you were trying to tell that I cut you off when we were talking about how does one end up in a room like this?
Yeah.
Hold on. No.
Hold on.
This is not how it goes. We're overriding this.
Got protocol around here.
Okay, fine.
There are rules to be followed.
Cut that part out.
Yeah, we're live, baby.
Yeah, don't forget, this is the live show. Maddie, we start every interview the same way. And what are we on? What is this episode like?
18.
18. A year and a half we've been doing this. That's crazy.
Wow.
We start every episode the same, or every interview the same way for every episode. We're going to talk a whole lot of Frisbees tonight, I'm pretty sure.
Perfect.
But question number one that we ask everyone is, do you remember the first disc you ever got, and do you still have it?
I do remember the first disc I got, and unfortunately I don't have it. Bought it from the legend Jack Mace at the old Buffalo Hill disc golf course here in Hutch. A classic style out of the trunk of his car. It was an end of a gazelle with the old crybaby stamp on it. Yellow.
Okay.
Man, I love that thing. Sweet disc. Miss that course. Miss that man also. Of course, just the Maces are all around kind of legends in our sport.
Yeah, for sure, dude. Yeah, I spent several Saturdays going up to Hutch to play league with y'all when they were running it. And man, definitely.
Oh, the Mace Man shirt.
How appropriate. How appropriate, right?
Yeah, that's a cool one. That crybaby stamp is a classic stamp around this area too. So that's cool.
Definitely.
Well, we'll talk about some of the other thousands of discs you've got here in just a minute. But question number 2, dream card. You got you and you got 4 other people. Who's going on your dream 5-some?
And that can be, anybody in the world, right?
Anybody.
Yeah. Obviously,
They don't have to be living either.
Sure. Number 1 be Steady Ed Hedrick for sure. He'd have to be on the card. Number 2, gosh, more challenging than I think. I would probably have to say Dr. Stancil Johnson, another early Frisbee pioneer.
Mm-hmm.
probably one of my close friends that passed away when I was in my early 20s. Dion Johnson, one of the guys that I played with. Oh gosh, hundreds of rounds with. It'd be great to get back and play another round with him. One more.
One more.
One more.
One more. I would have to say, boy, I'd have to have Ken Climo on the card too. I think that would be pretty cool. So that
So
would definitely be a dream card for me.
You just made Rich Norwood mad.
I play enough with him.
That's a good one. I like it.
Yeah, that is a great card. Have you met either one of those first two ever? Did you meet Ed before he passed?
No, nope, I did not. Neither of them.
And you never played with Climo?
Just got to watch him play. That's it.
It's not that fun. Jerk.
Smitty, how did that go?
He's still my fantastic golfer, and I would, except for Beast, we got to call him the GOAT for sure. He's done something that'll never be done.
Yeah.
Tremendous golfer, and uber competitive, I think, is probably what got the best of me.
Yeah, he still doesn't suck. So
no,
that's for sure.
All right, Maddie. Third question. This one is a little more loaded.
Okay.
And often pretty difficult for folks to nail down. But your favorite disc golf memory?
Favorite disc golf memory.
I love that Lucas is now putting these on here for me now, so I don't have to try to remember these.
Yeah.
I got you.
Boy. Like anybody, there's a ton of those, right? I would have to kind of maybe lump it into kind of one scenario that happens usually once a year that is pretty special and very unique. And it does include Richard Norwood, unfortunately. One of my other passions is backpacking. And Rich always goes with me. And we backpack deep into the mountains, middle of nowhere. And we always pack some discs. And we have a little game that we call the Mini Mountain Championships. And it's just him and I, and we go and we make these just insane holes all over the mountain countryside, playing just object golf. And it's just one of those things just you look forward to every year. It's incredible just because of the views, because where you're at, and the company. But definitely probably my favorite memory or memories of golf.
Who's the current mini golf or mini mountain champion? You were Rich.
That would be me, actually.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
But he has the mountain man beard, so he gets that championship.
I couldn't grow a beard if I wanted to.
Not that good. Wow, that's a beard.
No, not even close.
Love it. Well done. You're off the
Thank you,
tee,
sir.
Maddie.
I kind of thought maybe the Oktoberfest somewhere might be in that.
Yeah, definitely crossed my mind, but just the uniqueness of what we do up there is just kind of what stands out for me.
It sounds awesome.
It's awesome. I mean, you think of any fantasy like disc golf course you would play on a video game. I mean, that's what we're doing. You're in the clouds, you're throwing off 300-400 foot cliffs down into the forest. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's anything you can. It's whatever you can dream up is pretty much what we're doing. It's pretty cool.
Like the old pictures on the doctor's wall of the golf courses. That looked ridiculous on waterfalls and stuff like that. They're doing it in real life with frisbees.
Exactly. Yep.
Right on. Well, now can I ask my question?
Go ahead.
Yeah, you're allowed.
Feel free.
Hate's almost ruined the show. So tell us.
What else would be new?
Tell us how you ended up in this room. You don't have to give us the exact coordinates, but is this in your garage? Is this in your house?
Yeah. So 7 years ago, we moved into this house, and I built this garage with kind of the intent of having a man cave / kind of place to showcase some of the things that I collected over the years, and of course to keep my vehicles in here too because they're valuable. But yeah, this side is kind of my man cave side, and it did have kind of an intent of turning into this, and still every day I walk in here and kind of blown away at what it's become.
It's great.
Yeah, it's crazy. When we first came on, I was like, "What the heck? That's a lot of stuff."
Yeah,
And
I'd have to say, it's kind of a term that I've coined, but I kind of call my collection kind of I would call it maybe a cottage collection. I wouldn't necessarily say I've got the most discs in the world, but as far as like um, things that are museum quality or rare, I definitely have something that's very condensed and packs with a punch, I think. There's a lot of guys out there that have 10, 20,000 discs. That's cool. That wasn't my intent when I started doing this, was to have as many as I could possibly have. I wanted the good stuff. I wanted the historical stuff and things that had value and good talking points, I guess.
now, have you always been like such a huge history buff of the game, or did that come a little bit later?
So yeah, I've always been a history buff in general. I've always enjoyed history of anything that I've found fascinating. And 2004, my wife and I had our first daughter, and disc golf tournaments, getting out every weekend, all that slowed down, and it was kind of a nice pickup point to keep active in the sport and kind of enjoy the historical side of it also, and just like I said, enjoying history. Period. Um, it's kind of wild. I never thought it'd come to this point. It's just kind of one piece at a time, and it's kind of interesting. You meet one person that leads you to another, that leads you to another, and that's kind of how it all kind of unravels. Is the travels that you go through people that you meet and people that you find or discover, or just things on eBay that whether somebody doesn't realize what it is or they do, and you get lucky.
So what was the first disc to get this collection addiction started? Well, this is a question from the Facebook.
Yeah, this is from Kyle
Sure.
Graham. Was it even a
Sure.
disc, or was it some other type of memorabilia that
Yeah,
got
it
the
actually
snowball going?
actually very simplistic. It was these discs that you see behind me are essentially Whammo's champion plastic. When Whammo first started making frisbees, all the guys that were high performance were breaking them. It's like, hey, we need something more. We need something with more quality. And so Whammo started coming out with what was called HDX plastic. And I went on to eBay one day. Always been an ultimate fan, frisbee fan. Started playing with frisbees well before I started playing disc golf, and I wanted to buy one, and so I ended up buying a used Ice Blue 80 HDX, which would be that disc right there. But it was a used one. I bought it for like $40. Got it home, got it in my hands, and just like, oh my god, I just fell in love. And I happened to reach out to the guy that I bought it from on eBay, and just for whatever weird reason, it just happened to be probably one of the biggest collectors in the country. And it just kind of went from there. Him and he kind of befriended me, kind of took me under his wing a little bit, showed me some things, showed me some real collectibles, and I was hooked from there. The collection kind of originally was more just on the Whammo side of things, and then it started building into the older historical side of disc golf also. It was more of discovering where those things were more than anything, and the awareness of them.
That's
Chris,
sick.
do you have any other collection addictions, or were you a baseball card kid when you were young, or?
I've always been that type of a person. Like, even bouncy balls when I was a little kid. I had
Rocks,
tons of bouncy balls. Yeah, rocks.
Hot Wheels.
I like to collect fossils. I hike a lot, so I'm always
Oh
head
yeah,
down looking for things. I've actually got a Colombian mammoth tooth back here that I found on the Arkansas River 4 or 5 years ago.
sick.
Um, I mean, you guys want to see that?
Yes.
Yeah. We thought we were going to be doing disc golf, but holy
Yeah.
moly.
So can you see this?
Yes.
Barely. It's a
So-
little small.
So this is the bottom part of the chewer.
That is
And
wild,
so
dude.
a Colombian mammoth had 4 teeth. So this was either an upper left or a lower right. But as you can see, like these plates, all these plates, as they would chew, these plates would move forward as the front one would wear off. But just one of the
Wow.
neat things I guess you could say I collect also.
Wow.
Is that a collection of one?
Yeah, I also did find the femur, top of the ball of the femur a couple months later. But this is the top of the femur. So
Wow.
this is what goes into the knee joint.
Yeah.
Where did you find this?
Man.
And these were just buried in the sand on the Arkansas River.
Randy used to do a lot of that, I think.
Randy Mattingly, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, he absolutely.
He didn't live too far from the river.
No, he didn't.
That's crazy. Man.
That's
That's
cool.
wild.
But anyway,
That's wild, dude.
back to frisbees.
You keep collecting that mammoth, and you're going to need a much larger garage.
I've tried to find like the tusks and things, but I don't. They're gone, or
Oh, yeah.
or they're buried so deep that you can't find them.
That's awesome.
It's fun. It's fun to find things like that.
Yeah.
All right. So that's insane. I'm going to segue back to that first disc you ever got. You said you got it for
Yes.
$40. What is it worth
Yes.
now? How rare is that? Because
So
I don't know.
That one in general, probably about the same value, that used one. But so that one right up there, that is the exact same disc but unstamped. And Whammo didn't let anything out of the factory unstamped. So that whole row of discs right there is exceedingly rare. That's one of 2 known in existence. That blank blue one right there. And I actually got that from. Do you guys know who Tom Kennedy is?
I've heard the name for sure.
Goes by TK. He's the one that won the Whammo $50,000 tournament
Okay.
back in 1979.
Okay.
That was part of his that was part of his winnings. So he got portion cash, portion in Whammo merchandise, and that was one of the HCX discs that they gave him. So I bought that from him probably 10 years ago. But that was my unicorn for many years, was that disc right there.
But it's been surpassed.
It has been surpassed. Yes.
Ugh.
Do we get to see the
build our
unicorn?
way up. Let's build our
Oh
way
yeah. We'll get there. We'll get there.
Pace ourselves.
Oh man.
Where should we go next? How about I know the minis are a ridiculous obsession.
They are.
Let's
They
you want
are.
to show off some of those good ones?
Sure. Maybe best to I might grab the phone and bring it over here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because so I built the shadow box coffee table just so I could kind of display some of the ones I think are cool and fun, and some that are quite rare also.
I know some that's definitely going to be in there that folks around here would recognize. I don't know if it's in this table, but
There we go. So there's
Your,
a couple nice KDGA stamps right there,
Wow.
the 911 Frizz minis.
and then I actually don't have those in here, but I do have a bunch of those.
I know you do.
Smitty hooked me up here a while back with a few actually. So right here, this is a mini mold.
Sick.
That is to the Tom Lander mini sport flyer. Tom was a machinist back in the 80s, lived up in Washington State, Frisbee freak like all of us, and decided he's going to make himself a mini. And so he kind of formed a prototype, and then bought some aluminum and actually milled this thing out of aluminum. Here's a few of his prototypes here. This mini mold actually made like over 85,000 minis through the years. Last production was like 93, I believe. But kind of a cool little feat, something you don't see every day. I don't know many people that own a mini mold.
I know one.
You know one. I kind of got like you guys were familiar with AVR grid minis, right?
Yeah.
The old school grid minis. Well, here's kind of like a rainbow spectrum that I have.
Do you have all the colors that were produced?
There's always that rogue color. You're always finding something. I mean, I feel like I do, but I guarantee you there's something I don't.
That's definitely a rainbow of them. That is dope, too.
Yeah. And like this one actually glows, this one glows, this one glows, which is really cool.
Hold on. You got to go back over there. Bill Cosby, go up.
Oh, yeah. So that's a little trivial anymore. But I know guys that have collected their whole life and have never found one of those. I've got both the C and D mold of that mini. So both minis that were made. I've seen these go for $400 plus. Just that mini.
Wow.
What's the story behind it? Why is there a Bill Cosby mini?
So Whammo did what's called calling cards. They were business cards essentially. Here's some over here of like Ed Hedrick, Stork, Ken's son. So basically, you put your accolades on there, you put your name and number, your address. It was like a business card. You passed them out to people. And so they did a special run in the Night Flyer plastic, which is a glow plastic. And so there's I think there's 58 total different people that did these. And some were like Bill Cosby did one, Miss America did one, the Miss America of that year. There's a guy named Bill Good that was a curator at the Smithsonian Museum. I've got a bunch of those. I've got almost all of them. And they're really kind of fun to go through. Does that make sense?
It caught my eye, dude. I had.
Yeah. Good eye. That's like I said, that's a trivial mini anymore with old Bill, but it's extremely rare. Some of these weird ones. These are like European Faulkner minis. Faulkner was one of the licensees of Whammo. They did some of their own stuff. Vincent Van Gogh. And then early Innova minis, the grid mini or the Protostar minis, excuse me. Some of those. I got a bunch more, but just a few that are in there. Feel like motorcycles or Honda is kind of a unique mini, Whammo mini Honda.
I know you've told me this before. How many minis do you think you have in total in your collection?
Oh, it's probably it's over the 2,000 mark, I bet.
Crazy.
And I don't.
I can't even keep a mini for a whole round. And he's got 20,000. He's got 2,000.
And I don't collect just a mini that has
Sure.
a tournament stamp on it. It's got to have a little bit of significance. Now that being said, the minis that go to this, I bought Tom's whole collection. He got out of it, so I just bought all of his minis because I wanted to own it all. So I do have some kind of odd, stuff that isn't necessarily valuable, but is important to me because it goes with that set of stuff. These are really cool. These 1983 World Championship minis. So they got these stickers on them, but if you hold them up to the light, they're actually calling cards to Tom Monroe, which was the TD. Whammo didn't get the minis out to him quick enough, so they had stickers. So they just took all of Tom Monroe's calling cards and started putting stickers on them and handing them out to people.
That's great.
That looks a lot like your button you won, Ronnie.
It looks a lot like it.
I was going to say it's very, very similar to.
Very similar.
And then I just got like some little trinkets and stuff in here too. Little bitty Cracker Jack pie pan.
Oh, rad.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Some like International Frisbee Association, like there's like a tie pin and some little deals that go on your cuffs. And yeah, this thing came from Ed Hedrick. That pro medallion, it goes like hang on a necklace. It's like jewelry.
Wow.
Ridiculous.
You know, we're not going to have any like hard hitting questions. This is just going to be show and tell, right? And who doesn't want to see it, right? I mean, I know everybody in our part of the world knows you. You know, even if they haven't had the chance to play golf with you over the years, because you don't, like you said, you don't play a whole lot of tournaments like you did
Yeah,
20
yeah,
years
yeah.
ago. But I think a lot of people know you for this, and dude, it's so dope.
Which is kind of shocking to me too, because like I said, it was just kind of a passion that kind of evolved into more of a museum, I guess. Kind of cool.
Yeah, honestly, the way you talk about it, and that when you, especially like when you're showing your menus, and then you have little stories behind it. I mean, it really is very museum-esque, and you're like a really cool tour guide.
I love to hear that. Thank you.
Two people ask basically the same question, and I don't know if
Okay.
it's too early to get into it or not, but what disc or piece of memorabilia has the most interesting story of how you obtained it?
Ooh. That's a good question. Well, I guess one that we can jump into real quick that is very special to me, and probably I would say the coolest person that I've ever received a disc from.
You're welcome. You're
you
welcome.
guys,
I was wondering we were going to get to that one.
are you guys familiar with the Steady Ed Ashes discs?
Mhm.
Where he's cremated and he's in an Ultra Star and a couple of other frisbees.
Yep.
Have you guys ever held one or seen one?
It's been a while, but yeah.
Right.
Like, you hold one up and, you go, okay, yeah, oh yeah, I can see a flake here. I can see a speck here. His ashes are in it, but it's not like it's like this, burst of ash. I was fortunate enough to acquire one of those ashes discs from Ed's widow, Farina Hedrick, that were only made for exclusive few. And this thing is, I don't know if you guys can see, but it is absolutely just jam-packed with Ed Hedrick, I guess you could say. I don't know if let me
Nah,
hold on just a second.
that's crazy.
You guys see all the material in that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there.
Oh, that's all Ed, huh?
Ed?
That's all Ed.
What up, homie? What's up,
Um,
Ed?
If you actually watch Ripley's Believe It or Not, they did an episode of like showing the family pouring ashes into the actual purge bin, and this disc is on that show.
Oh,
So 1 of 5, I believe, of these.
wow.
But you can actually, I mean, you look at it, it's actually, you can feel the abrasion in it. It's not smooth plastic.
That's nuts.
But I would say that's probably, as far as the coolest person I've ever received anything from, I definitely have to say, something directly from her was pretty special.
How'd you work that out? How'd that come about?
She actually reached out to me, just because of some of the other things that I have of steadies. Felt like I was a good candidate to have something like that, or felt like it needed to be with some of the things that I have in the collection.
That's got to be even cooler.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, it was a neat opportunity. That's for sure.
Crazy. Well, what's the most important piece? We may have just saw it.
No, I don't think so. That's tough too. So it's probably a combination of three pieces actually. So Steady Ed. I mean, I know you guys know who that is. I'm assuming the audience does too. But obviously the founder of our sport, the inventor of the disc pull hole, the disc golf basket. He originally was just an employee at Whammo, saw a frisbee and realized that he could take this from a toy to an actual sport, and so he evolved it into a performance disc. Through that, he formed the International Frisbee Association, which was like kind of the early PDGA. There were members. They held tournaments. He had a IFA number, just like a PDGA number. Time went on. The IFA, International Frisbee Association, slowly kind of started to die out. Ed formed the PDGA, kind of did the same thing. So when you join the International Frisbee Association, you got a paper card saying that you were a valid member. Well, you had a manual that was called the proficiency test, and you took that test, and it had a whole level of skills that you had to do left and right-handed with a frisbee. And if you pass that test at certain levels, that's what level of frisbee you're at. Well, if you pass everything 100%, you're considered a frisbee master. Well, once you were a frisbee master, you actually got cards saying that. Well, I have both of Ed's frisbee master cards. You guys can see that. So there we go.
Wow.
So that and that are essentially Ed Hedrick's black belt in frisbee.
That is wild, dude.
And so the early PDGA members also got a medallion with their PDGA number and name on it that Ed would actually hand engrave. And here is Ed's. So you can see Steady
001.
Steady Ed Hedrick 001. So there's his medallion. I mean, these guys carry these things in their pockets like a lucky coin, They were very important. These cards too. I mean, to be a frisbee master was a big deal. That was not something that just anybody could do. So very important. But and then this right here is a piece of brass that he stamped his calling card logo onto, which it's a one of one. I've never seen anything like it before. But those are probably this right here is my favorite piece I own, hands down. I just love that stuff.
Did all four come together, or did you have to?
No, so I
find them all?
originally acquired this, then I acquired this, then I acquired both of these, all from the same person. But yeah, pretty historic stuff. I mean, to me, it's still boggling to look at it.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Well, there are certainly going to be people watching this that probably have no idea who Ed Hedrick is, for one. And
right.
So a little bit of a history lesson for you here. But one question I would have, so because one thing I've never been is a collector. I mean, I've tried to do it a couple times, and I didn't have the patience. But so when these in the disc golf collector space, is it mostly a certain select of you that you guys kind of just send it and trade it and sell it to each other, or is there more people getting into it now, or how's that
definitely
going?
I don't necessarily collect anything new whatsoever. It's kind of a weird market, but yes. So it's like disc golf, and it's a small world. It's a small community of people. You know, it seems like everybody knows everybody in some way, shape, or form. But I'm not sure if I answered your question correctly, though.
You know who has what?
You do to an extent, and if you don't, if you know the right people, you can typically find. I mean, a lot of that's definitely one thing about collecting, and that's anybody collecting. It's kind of the thrill of the chase, you know. Um, a lot of the things that are on my bucket list, I know where they're at already, so it's just for me a matter of time when they're ready to give them up. And a
So
lot of
wait, go ahead.
go ahead.
Okay, well, I don't want to cut you off. Go with what you're going to go. My question can wait.
I just say it's a lot of the things that I enjoy collecting are in the hands of old frisbee collectors. You know, the first generation of guys, and they're more concerned about getting it into the right hands and making sure it's preserved than making a dime. You know, um, seems like the new collecting world, the new discs, it's all about making as much money you can off a disc you just got off the internet, or you know what I mean.
Hmm.
I mean, good example is the LBC stuff, the Las Vegas drops with Sextons and Vegas Firebirds. It's just sometimes I'm like, it is what it is. Everybody can enjoy collecting what they want to collect. It's just not for me
Yeah.
as far as that stuff. But yeah, we all know where things are at. And if we don't, you look hard enough, you're gonna find it.
So you're out hunting mammoth parts, and you stumble across a lantern. You pull this lantern out of the sand, and you wipe the side of it off. And poof! Genie comes flying out of the top. Mr. Mattison, I grant you 3 wishes. What are your wishes? And they gotta be disc golf related. This is only a disc golf genie.
Oh, sure. Um,
You know,
one
the typical
one would
style.
I want a Mach 1, original Mach 1, very first basket out. And we've all played on them, you know, at Frizz, or you know, those original baskets they had around there. Those were all Mach 1s. Bucket about that tall and 5 chains, basically.
Was Lindsberg
Yep.
ones?
Yes, those were the baskets. Yep. That would definitely be one of my wishes.
Well, I know where there's a whole bunch of those.
I do too. Just getting your hands on one is the problem. Second wish, probably just play more disc golf, honestly. Just be able to get out more. Third wish,
You don't have to come up with 3.
man, it's tough.
We only ask the riveting, hard hitting questions around here. So gotta be ready.
You're doing a fine job at that too.
Well, while you're thinking,
Okay.
let's talk about these Lindsbergers that the 3 of us know where they're at.
Yes.
Is it true that Ed had a hand in bringing those to Kansas and delivering them, or do you know?
Yeah, so I did some digging in on that. So, excuse me. I reached out to, gosh darn, I'm blanking on names all of a sudden. I reached out to Ed's daughter. So, in Paulson's book about disc golf baskets in history, he was thinking that maybe that there was a Hedrick that went to Lindsberg. And I reached out to see if that was actually the case, and there wasn't anybody in the Hedrick family that went to school in Kansas. But that doesn't mean that Ed didn't come through and lay that course out. That was potentially a possibility.
I like to think he did.
Yeah,
I do too. I do too.
Whether it happened or not, I want to believe.
But I'm not sure where somebody got whether story or whatever, but got the idea that potentially one of the Hedricks actually went to Lynchburg to go to college, and that's how Ed ended up there. But I know that not to be the case.
When did that course go in at Bethany?
Oh boy, that would probably been mid '80s, maybe.
My uncle played football there, and I wish I could remember that far back. He would have been like 86 to 89 or something like that.
And that's probably in the right time frame.
That's wild to think maybe he played disc golf on campus there. I'd have to ask him. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I've
With
never
some
asked him
original
that before.
baskets.
Yeah. Crazy stuff. Well, why don't you just go where you want to go?
Okay. I figured I'd maybe kind of talk just a little bit about just the evolution from us playing golf with blunt edge frisbees to what we play with now. A bevel edge disc, high performance disc. We've talked kind of already gone into a little bit of an introduction with that with Ed Hedrick. He was kind of the front runner on pushing the sport, along with another guy by the name of George Snappenfield. I don't know if you've ever heard of that name before. But so Ed, once he invented the basket, he wanted to create a disc that was exclusive to disc golf. And working at Whammo, he decided, well, okay, I'm going to form the Disc Golf Association, which will be my company that I will sell my plastic through, and I'll have Whammo mold them for me. And so he decided that all the Whammo discs weren't heavy enough for what he wanted the disc to do. And he knew through what they did there that if you put phosphorus in the disc, which is glow material, phosphorus is heavy and dense, he could add weight to the discs. And so he ended up creating a disc called the Night Flyer, which is this set right here. And these were all in what's called a 40 mold. It's just the mold of disc, like a Firebird or an Eagle or a Felon. It's just that's a 40 mold that's what it is. The number on there was just basically identification. Here you play with 8. Here you play with 6. Blah blah blah. All these discs again glow, and they were all penned, handwritten with their gram weight on the bottom. A lot of those fell off, but these are still brand new. These discs, the Night Flyer, they only made 125 sets of 8, or around 1,000 discs, before Ed got a potential lawsuit against him for copyright infringement, because there's already the Night Flyer copyrighted. So from this disc, he changed the name to Midnight Flyer, and off it went with many different sizes and molds for different performances and the numbers of Midnight Flyer. After that, we started getting into some guys that were playing and knew something about aerodynamics, and a fella by the name of Jan Sobel started a company originally called Dynamic Disc. Ended up changing the name fairly shortly after to Destiny Disc, which he named after his daughter. He, I think of all people, probably is one of the most influential on figuring out what size the disc needed to be. I wish I knew how he figured it out, but he's the one that realized that our discs needed to be approximately 21 centimeters in diameter. And that's why, even today, almost all of our discs are essentially 21 centimeters in diameter. These are a few of his discs that he came out with through the years. This is probably one of the rarest discs I own. This is a prototype puppy. Wild looking. This is it's been what we call a purge in the collecting world. So all of this plastic is inside the disc. It was purged inside the disc. That's not something that's stamped on there or painted on there. It's smooth to the touch. This came from Jan Sobel's collection. I've never seen anything else like this. Again, I consider this probably one of the rarest discs in my collection, by far. Another one of the discs that he came out with, I think, is very cool, is the aerodynamically adjustable bullet. This disc has instructions on it that tell you how to sand the rim down to the proper stability that you want.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So this disc right now, I mean, is extremely stable. And so, it basically tells you to go over to the sidewalk and start sanding it down and throwing it until you get it to the stability that you want it to be.
There was a time when that was a real thing. I remember doing that plenty of times. That kind of puts this is how the wind affects your disc a little bit. Knocks it down just a peg, don't it?
Yep. I remember the era where you fold your disc one way to make it more stable, or fold your disc the other way to make it less stable. I don't know if that ever worked, but another one, the Skyhawk that he invented, very, very deep dish, stable disc. A lot of the discs he made actually would not be PDJ approved today because of the diameter, but all this stuff was pre-PDJ regulations on size, diameter, things like that. Another one he invented was the Rock and Roller, and this thing's big. This thing's kind of like a Condor or something. The crazy thing is it's 276 grams. I mean, like, shoulder quivering heavy. Again, wouldn't be PDJ legal today. I mean, you guys have heard of the Super Puppy and Puppy?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. The next guy I want to talk about would be Tom Monroe. You guys heard Tom. I've talked about Tom a little bit. Are you guys familiar with Tom Monroe?
Just the name is all I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Multi world champion, 83 worlds, TD, Alabama pioneer. He was Mr. Alabama. Unfortunately passed away in the last couple of months from some illness. He, kind of at the same time as Dave was figuring out the Eagle, he invented the Monroe Bee. And this is a prototype. They made 100 of these, and very sharp edged, super light. If I remember right, it was either pennies or dimes that they would tape them to the center of the bottom to get this thing to the right weight to fly. And crazy John Brooks took one of these with coins taped to the bottom, was up in some watchtower, light tower, I don't know, and threw this like 700 feet perfectly straight like a dart. And Tom realized that he was onto something. So the company that molded these for him, he called them up and said, "Hey, I want you to make these in a different plastic. We want to make them at a specific weight. Let's get this done." They said, "Okay." Never heard from them. Called the company back months later. They go, "Oh, sorry. We got an order for 1 million telephones and we lost your mold." So that was the end of the Monroe Bee.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Kind of a wild deal. This, I'd love to see this thing fly 700 feet. So, to Dave Dunapace. You know who Dave Dunapace is, obviously.
Yes.
I know this one.
And founder of Innova. kind of a big name in the sport. There was a day that he was found out in Morley Field in California throwing a super puppy with a plastic wing that he had put on it. And from there is where we got the Innova Eagle, was from the puppy. So without Jan Sobel, without the puppy, we may not have evolved as far as we did to where we were with Dave and him coming up with his idea for the Eagle. And this is the Eagle that he ended up with. This is a prototype Eagle. Nothing like today's Eagle. The rim is much more tapered, much more domed. But this is what we started with.
Isn't it the Aero mold now?
And so exactly. It was retooled just a little bit. They actually put tooling on the bottom, and it became the Aero, which we still have today. Here's another prototype Eagle, just with the early Champion prototype stamp on it. So it was originally Champion disc, and then went to Innova from there. How about a little bit of local history?
We're down.
Yes.
So here we go. First annual Flatland Association Milton Besser Memorial. This was at WSU in 1976. Can you guys see it where I'm at?
Yeah.
You were what, a freshman?
Hey.
My first year as a freshman.
Second annual Milton Besser, Wichita State University, 1977. Kind of a cool stamp.
Oh yeah, it's really cool.
Old Paulson and Priest can tell you stories about some of this stuff, I'm sure. First annual Kansas State Frisbee Tournament, KU Frisbee Club, 1978.
Wow.
And for people who got to hear Harv talking about it was far more than just disc golf in those days, right?
Very much.
It was disc sports in general.
Yep. Absolutely. MTA. It was all of them. Here's a 1979 K-State Glow Fastback. Back in the day when they were always protesting for something.
No nukes.
No nukes. Kansas for sensible energy.
It's amazing that these are all brand new. I would think that
these are all brand new.
When people would get these and go into these events and players packs, first thing I'm going to do is throw that damn thing across the field.
Absolutely.
I can tell you, I was molded in 1979, and there ain't nothing new about this. So.
KU Ultrastar.
Ooh.
The interesting thing about this Ultrastar is you notice how there's no flight rings. It's smooth up here.
Yeah.
So when this was produced, Ed Hedrick put a patent on the flight rings. He thought they were something that created like an aerofoil effect, like a spoiler on a car. And so he patented them. And so there was a period of time where nobody else could put those on a disc until that patent ran out. So these early Ultrastars, none of them had flight rings on them or lines of Hedrick is what he called them. But just kind of an example of early Ultrastars. They fly the same. Come to find out, those concentric rings are just good for grip. They don't really change the performance of the disc whatsoever. Some early KDGA.
Oh, let's see.
And this one's really great because you see the typo. Instead of Winfield, they put windshield.
That's perfect.
Isn't that great? Another early Kansas stamp.
Oh yeah.
Paulson told me he did this one with the intent of it being a clock with all
Okay.
the baskets, which is kind of a cool idea.
Sucker doesn't line up like a clock. I got to tell Paulson that right now. that 3 o'clock is in the wrong spot, buddy.
Yeah, a little low. And I couldn't go without a Bruce the Deuce Hudson, no low putts, 86 softy.
Whoa.
That's just a classic right there.
Yeah.
You guys know that was his stamp?
I did not.
I didn't know it was his stamp.
Yep, that's Deuce's stamp.
Very cool.
Few other things here. One of the few antiques that I have is this little Abner. And the thing that's special about it is it's got Fred Morrison's signature on the inside. So Fred Morrison was the guy that took us from Frisbee pie pans to the original plastic disc. He basically is the original Frisbee inventor. So Whammo bought his mold from him, and then Ed took it from there and took it into a sport. If that makes sense.
That's cool. We got to see some of them pie pans out there at Worlds. Me and Smitty did.
Oh, nice.
I
Yes.
How much was he selling that set for, Chris? It was a look but don't touch sign. I did see that.
I backed up 3 steps when I saw that.
Here's a couple that I have.
Yeah, I figured we were about to see a few.
That one and this one. They're reverse, what they call a reverse stamp.
Wow. So that was the original Frisbee?
So
Was it-
this is what
It's a freaking pie pan?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Frisbee
Huh.
pies.
Yeah, it was a pie company, right? And then
Correct.
somebody threw one,
And that was Fred Morrison, that autograph I just showed you.
right.
Him and his wife would go and buy pie tins from the pie company and go to the beach and throw them. And then people kind of got attracting their attention. So he started selling them on the beach and realized there's a market for it. And it just snowballed into a plastic, injected molded Frisbee and went from there. And he was terrible at promoting himself and advertising. And that's when Whammo stepped in and said, "Hey, let's help you out with this." And it just went from there.
Did he and Ed have a good working relationship or not?
They, really, Fred just kind of stepped away at that point and just started taking in royalties. So really, there wasn't much of stepping on toes in a sense. Should we get to some of the good stuff?
The pie pans aren't the good stuff, by the way.
So this is an original set of Midnight Flyers still in the packaging. Like you don't see there's 8 Frisbees in here. And so this is how Ed packaged all of his original Frisbees. And this is from his collection.
Oh wow.
But he would do them and they call them barrels.
Ridiculous.
One day someone's gonna open that up and there's gonna be, not Midnight Flyers in there.
I've got that question before. How do you really know what's in there?
Ooh.
So this is one of 3 of Ed's jackets. So Steady Ed, his IFA Frisbee Master patch here, and then everybody was Frisbee family. If you're a Frisbee, you were family. There's 2 other jackets that are red that are similar to this, but this is the only navy blue. And he wore this thing all over the place.
He was a little guy.
He was a little guy. It fits me really well. Some tout this is the Holy Grail. I don't know. Maybe.
Hmm.
Oh, there it is.
I think I've seen this on Facebook.
So in 1983, Ed contracted an artist to paint this disc golf scene. Can you guys see it really well from there?
Mhm.
Yeah.
He contracted an artist to paint this disc golf scene on his full brim Eddie Bauer hat. And he wore this thing to every big flying disc event there was. I mean, this hat was renowned. Anybody that was around in those days knows this hat. But I just think it's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, it's sick.
It is very sick. And did you get that from his
So
wife?
no, I actually got this from my other buddy that I started buying discs from. He got it from Farina, and one day he reached out. He's like, "Yeah, you need this in your collection." I mean, it's okay. You can't argue that, right?
No.
I got to show you the coolest disc golf towel ever.
Ah,
Isn't that cool?
that's awesome.
This is Ed and Luann's wedding announcement. So they sent out frisbees for their wedding invitations.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
See, Lucas, you just why don't you do that for your baby announcement?
I know.
You missed the boat.
I know.
Come on,
If I-
man.
I just would have talked to Mattison a little bit sooner.
Could
That's
have done
right.
minis.
I have seen that done before.
I have
Eric
two.
Minis.
I have two.
Yeah.
I happen to have some collectible Chris and Stacy Smith minis if anybody wants one. They didn't withstand the test of time. There's a couple minis left around.
That's
Remember, we can't cut anything out. This is live.
So I'm gonna cut that out.
I mean, guys, we could go on forever. We really could.
We
Trying
can
to think.
segue. We can segue into a game. We got a game.
Okay. Okay.
You guys want to do
hold on.
that?
I want to before we go to the game. I want to talk about those. I want to talk about the Kansas Disc Golf Sports Hall of Fame
Oh.
Yes.
and
yes.
how you became part of that. And then you're also a member of the board of directors for the Scholarship Foundation. I want to know how you, because we know you, Ronnie and I know you.
Right.
I would guess the majority of the disc golf population might have heard of you, but wouldn't know
most
you
part,
because
yeah.
you're not out there playing tournaments all over the place. So, but you hold two pretty cool positions for the state of Kansas, I think.
Oh, extremely honored on both positions. I mean, I
Yeah.
was flattered when I was asked. You know, Paulson asked me to be on the board of directors for the, Kansas Disc Sports Scholarship Foundation. Why he did, I don't know if somebody recommended me to him, but yeah, he reached out to me and asked if it's something I'd be interested in doing, and of course, it's one of those things that you kind of hope you get asked to do.
Sure.
And also on the the Hall of Fame. The same thing, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Rich Smith out of Kansas City, stand-up guy. He and I kind of became friends through the collecting world, and he reached out to me. He's like, "Hey, thinking about trying to start some type of Hall of Fame for Kansas. We need something. We've been in this sport a long time and got some history, and want to get people recognized for that. Would you want to be a part?" And said, absolutely. Love to be a part of that. So again, just a fortunate guy to have somebody think about me and want me to have an opinion in it. So pretty cool.
Yeah, that's super cool. And like you said, pretty awesome honor to be the guy that gets to pick the guys.
Yeah, dang right. It's
Yeah.
kind of
So,
sometimes
so
a little
what
bit
would-
nerve wracking.
What was your response when when my co-host here was mentioned for the Hall of Fame? Was it a? I don't think that we need to have some standards, or what,
We had
what
to-
was that conversation like?
We had to have a strong conversation about that.
Yeah, you're probably wondering why I wasn't on that first ballot.
Obviously, well deserved.
Absolutely.
And Mattison gets to introduce me at the,
Yes.
Oh, it's
the
fantastic.
meeting, so that's going to
Yes.
be great.
That's my honor. I'm excited for that. That's going to be fun.
I thought about when I get my 2 or 3 minutes to give my speech, I thought about doing a roast of the other people, but I thought I'd better go away from that.
That would be funny.
Keep it
Well,
classy, San Diego.
For you and I would think it was funny, but
If I
depends
was
how, depends how that first
Who
show
else in the
goes.
induction class this year?
Bob Decker, Rusco,
Harvey.
Harvey,
Bruce Hudson,
Bruce, which
Chris
blows my mind
Smith.
how Harvey and Bruce weren't in that first.
Yeah, they were all in contention.
Mainly Harvey, man. When I think Kansas disc golf, that is the dude for me.
Same.
He is. He's an icon for sure.
And it really blows my mind that people don't know who Harvey Barger is. So
It's getting close to time to reintroduce him to our listeners. It's been almost a year since Harv was on last time.
That was a great episode.
we had some technical difficulties that episode as well that we had to figure out on the run. We've had some fun ones.
Yeah, he's a character.
Oh, best
Just listening-
storyteller ever.
Oh, yeah, his stories are great.
That could be where the Hedrick going to college in Kansas came from.
It could have been.
So, hey, let's do it. Shall we play a game, Lucas?
Shall we play a game? Shall we play a game?
All right. It is Are You a Dummy? Sponsored by OTP.
Game's
All right.
easy. The
Yeah,
game's easy.
Smitty, you're running it tonight?
Yep. We'll go right around the screen, and here's the way they're lined up for me. Mattison's the big boy in the middle. Ronnie's at the top. Then me, the game host, and Lucas. I don't know if they're in that same configuration for you guys or not. How come I can point to people today?
I don't know. You're doing great.
Hold on.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
Maddie's the wrong direction.
Oh, yeah. Maddie's wrong direction.
We normally do this before we go live, but
It's little BTS, little behind the scenes for everybody right here.
Yeah.
all right. So this game's easy.
All
It's
right.
just called Which Came First. I'll give you two things. Look at Lucas. I'll give you two things disc golf related, and you just have to pick which one came first. So
Okay.
Lucas, if I were you, I'd piggyback off of Mattison as much as you could.
Of course. Of course. I know how to play.
So starting with Lucas.
Of course. Of course. All right.
Lucas, which came first? A disc that we saw here tonight, the Innova Eagle, or the Michael Jackson Thriller album?
We're gonna say the Eagle did.
Mr. Mattison?
I would say the same.
Thriller was what, like 1983?
Eagle was 83.
Oh boy.
But I feel like that
Now I
was
wish I wouldn't have asked. I'll be the contrarian. I'm gonna go with MJ. King of Pop.
Smart move, my friend. Came out in 1982. So that was going to be my hint if we needed a hint. So yeah, 82 and 83.
So just so you know, Mattison, do not listen to anything I say. Don't ever follow me.
I fell in the trap.
Well, yeah. And even if you think Lucas might be right, go against him.
Okay.
All right, so let's go down the bottom here. Which came first? And this is too recent for Mattison, so this gives you guys a chance. The Latitude 64 Sinus or Nathan Doss, who's playing a disc golf tournament in a few weeks,
I saw that.
winning his first world title. This is you, Mattison. Nate Doss's first world title
Doss.
or the Sinus?
Doss. First.
Ronnie?
I'm gonna go with Doss also.
Obviously, it's the Sinus.
You going Sinus?
Yep.
Idiot. Do you have any idea when Nate Doss's first world title was? Anybody?
06 or 08?
Close.
Yeah, I was thinking 09.
05.
09 was Avery, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Avery in
you're
Kansas
right.
City.
Yeah.
05, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
In Pittsburgh, I think.
And the Sinus was what, like maybe 20? I was thinking like 2009, 2010.
This one blew my mind a little bit. 06.
Really?
Wow.
It's that old?
Well, that's when
Yeah.
it was. That's when it was PJ approved.
Sure.
Yeah.
And they had two discs before they really took off. They had the Sinus and another one, and
Weird frisbee with the little
thumb pads.
Not a
thumb
fan.
pads. Weird frisbee. Crisp.
Weird feeling too.
Crisp. The only person I ever knew that threw that frisbee.
Nolan throws it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So here we go. Let me cross those two off. We'll go back to another one with a little bit of a pop history involved. Well, kind of pop history. This is you, Ronnie.
Okay.
The Innova Aviar
Okay.
or the Challenger Explosion?
The Challenger was 1986, I believe.
7th grade language arts.
I wasn't quite in 7th grade, an old guy, but
Wasn't quite language arts either. Weird thing to learn in
It
English.
was 83. I'm gonna say the Aviar.
Lucas.
Honestly, Ronnie, I agree with you. It's the AVR for sure.
Oh God, I lose. Go the other way, Maddie.
Mr. Mattison.
I would say the AVR also.
You know the year?
I'm going to say, well, are you talking about the AVR XD or just the AVR?
Well, it was just said AVR on PDGA, so I'm assuming
I would say 85.
it was 84.
That's what I
Okay.
was thinking. 84 or 85. Challenger was 86. That is right? Yeah.
Yep, that's correct. That was impressive. So
That
my
was
current
nice.
my current score: Ronnie 3, Lucas 2, or Lucas 1, excuse me, and Mr. Mattison 2. Does that seem correct to you guys?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So here we go. Lucas,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
the Innova T-Bird
Okay.
or the Discraft Cyclone?
Oh. The Cyclone seems right since it's like they don't make it anymore. But the T-Bird, is that old? I mean, and if it's been around. We're gonna go with the Cyclone.
Are you sure?
I mean, sure as all of these.
Mr. Mattison, what do you think?
Boy, that's a tough one. I'm gonna say the T-Bird came first.
Man, this puts me in quite the predicament because I would have said Cyclone as well, but we got
That's tough.
one of the best disc historians that I know of going the other direction. So, but I'm gonna stick with it and say the Cyclone.
And you're going to be glad you did.
Ooh.
The Cyclone came, and this one shocked me. It's really not even that close. According to PDGA website, the Cyclone came out in July of '93, and the T-Bird came out, this is really shocking, May of '99.
See that?
Wow.
And that's what I was thinking. I was thinking when I first started playing, the T-Bird was brand, and that's kind of what I base it off of. The Cyclone was already around, and the T-Bird I thought was one of the new hot, like everybody digs it kind of things when I first started playing. I started playing in '98.
And I was thinking just the opposite of that, but I was wrong.
All right. So, Mattison.
It's Mattison. Yeah.
The Champion Edition Leopard, the good plastic, the good.
The real CE.
Real CE.
Okay.
Or Y2K.
Let's see. Y2K.
This one I'm fairly confident of. It was Y2K.
I'm not confident at all. Piggybacking for Y2K.
Which, based on our last conversation, only makes sense. If the T-Bird came out in DX plastic in '99, it would have to be
Candy plastic. Candy plastic come out in 01 or 02.
Yep.
Yeah, I was thinking it was like right around when I graduated high school.
Man, that stuff was good.
Ooh, it was good.
Lucas maybe has never even heard it coined as that. That's what everybody called it.
Yeah, we had all DX disc, Lucas, and then all of a sudden Innova brought out the CE plastic, and Discraft brought out Z, and we just all collectively called it Candy. And because it looked like Jolly Ranchers, because it was slightly translucent, and man, did that change the disc golf world right there.
Wow.
Yeah, you used to have to get a new disc all the flipping time, man, because it would
beat in.
Boy, do I miss those days.
That was exciting.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
It was.
You hit a tree and you don't know what your disc is going to do on the next throw.
Yeah. Who's going to come back out of the taco?
Yeah, man.
Thousands of dollars in CE plastic I've lost. I can't even comprehend.
This is a good one. I think this will get you, Ronnie. Which happened first? Ken Climo won his first world title, or Innova Champion Disc released the Zephyr?
I do love the Zephyr. And I do love King Climo. This is hard.
Well, you're not eliminating one from the world. You're trying to pick one.
No, but I think I would know. It's a pure guess.
That's
I'm gonna say Kenny.
You're close, Ronnie, but it's a Zephyr.
Well sold.
I gotta say Kenny also.
Okay, perfect.
It is Kenny. Which shocked me because I figured the Zephyr was around before that. I figured it was like an early disc. It's really not. Kenny won his first one, obviously, in '90, right, Lucas?
Of course.
Yeah. And the Zephyr was released in '92.
Not far behind.
Yeah, but I would have guessed that thing was much older.
Yeah.
It's very 80s style.
That super class stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
still cool.
All right.
Still cool.
Lucas, right?
Yep.
Current score. Ronnie with 6. Lucas with 4. And Mr. Mattison, you're in trouble here, buddy.
He's got 4 as well, right?
Okay.
What'd you have? What do you think you had?
4. Certainly
Okay.
4.
Definitely 4. Lucas,
Mhm,
which
mhm.
came first? U.S. patent number 4039 or the birth of the 2023 MP50 World Champion?
Oh.
I don't even know what that patent is.
I'll bet you one guy on here knows.
Well, I don't know. You're old, so we're gonna go with you.
We've spoke of this patent today. You're going with me?
Yep. You're super old, dude.
Okay. Do you know the patent, Chris?
Disc pull hole.
Yep.
So you saying who's older, you or the disc pull hole?
Which came first, me or the disc pull hole?
The patent on it, though. Maybe that came later. Maybe you
I would
didn't patent it right away.
say
I think you have the
I would
patent
say
first.
you came first.
Yeah. What is that? Maddie, like 70.
Yeah, 76,
Yeah.
75,
Smitty's older.
77.
Smitty's older than that. Smitty's like a 71 or 2 model, I think. I'm gonna go with Smitty.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm going with Smitty.
It was me, 73, and that patent did go to the pull hole, and that was 1977.
7.
Dang.
There we go.
Way older than the pull hole. All right. Well, we only have 3 more questions.
Okay. Okay.
And whose turn is it?
Maddie.
Okay.
Mine.
Maddie. Did the Gateway Wizard come out before Ken Climo won his last World MPO Championship?
Ooh.
Ooh.
MPO World Championship. I'm gonna say no.
So the Wizard's before Climo or after Climo?
The Wizard is after Climo.
Okay, so you say Climo's first. Ronnie?
Yes.
I'm gonna go with the Wizard.
And Lucas.
Sorry, Ronnie. I was also thinking Wizard.
Oh, jeez.
Ronnie and Lucas with the point.
Yeah.
Limo's last one was that 06?
02.
02.
02.
I was thinking before that.
Last MPO world title. He had a couple of MP40s after that.
I was thinking a little bit later than that. I didn't think it was even that close, but I thought Kenny won like mid 2000s.
Yep, Wizard was 02. All right, so this goes to Ronnie.
Yep.
Ronnie. The MVP Ion or the Dynamic Discs Trespass?
No, we're certainly getting into guesser range there because I have no idea on anything MVP. We'll go with DD.
Yeah, it's the trespass for sure, without question.
I was thinking the same thing.
Don't go trespass. Is that your answer?
Yep.
You're not a very good cheater, man. I was shaking my head. Don't go trespass. I wouldn't lie to you. Lucas, I might lie to. Yeah, the MVP Ion came out in 09 or was approved in 09.
Wow.
And DD
No
was
idea.
2012.
That is
I would've-
crazy. It seems like MVP is so new.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
because it's just caught on popularity wise.
I wasn't aware until just a few years ago. That's the first one I've missed, I think.
Really?
I think so.
I'm not very good at scorekeeping. All I know is that, yeah, I'm not very good. We'll have to check tapes. Okay, last question. And whose is it?
Lucas.
It's mine.
Lucas.
Mhm.
Did Steady Ed pass before or after the Discraft Buzz was approved?
Can I phone a friend?
We don't
My
have
best friend, Chris Mattison?
no.
He knows anything.
Buddy.
I'm going to say no idea. We're going to go Buzz, though.
So the Buzz before Ed.
Yep, before Ed.
Just so you know, Mr. Mattison, they just had the 20-year Buzz last year.
I say, Maddie, when did Steady Ed leave us? 'Cause
Yeah,
I know how old the Buzz is.
Ed passed before the Buzz.
I thought so as well.
Smitty, there's no hints.
Well,
Wasn't it?
I was as soon as you were done talking, I was definitely going to tell Maddie the Buzz is definitely 21 years old. So
I have no idea what the score is other than Ronnie won. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah.
yeah. Well done.
Job,
Well
Brian.
done.
I can barely do one thing at a time, and I'm trying to do three. So I had screwed up after the first time. So that's a pretty fun game. It wasn't bad.
That was fun.
That was good. That was good,
Yeah.
dude.
I sucked. That was good.
Well, it was too new for you.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
needed to go older, but I couldn't find a database of older stuff. I didn't look hard enough, I guess. So, right on, boys. Well, where do we go from here?
Well, before we go, I just want to say I got to do some recording at Indian Rock, and I wanted to share something with you all real quick that maybe not all of you have seen. But I got to meet someone, and I don't know if you've ever met this person, but she was the nicest lady in the world. Smitty's mother introduced herself as Smitty's mom. Don't even know her name other than Smitty's mom, and she was so kind. And I'm like, how in the world is Smitty the way he is?
It's an act, bro. Telling you, you put one coffee cup in the wrong place, and you're toast.
Yeah, she was there talking with Mace, and got to say hi to her. So she actually gave me the idea to show you live on a show. She's like, "Why don't you show him live on the show one time?"
So she's watching, huh?
Yeah, you know, you're her favorite disc golf player of all time.
Like, yep, even ahead of Doug Bjerkes. Dude, we forgot to do what we should have done at the beginning.
What's that?
The Oz Talk.
Oh,
Well, we were ready to talk to Mattison.
We got to roll through that real quick. Chris, do you want to stick around while we do that?
oh,
Or-
sure, absolutely.
Okay. All right. So
All right, I got to pull it up.
We were just so eager to we all
That-
got to see the set beforehand, and
that room got us, man. That room got us.
we
Oh,
we
goodness.
were too ready to just talk frisbee.
Yeah, I shut everything
It
down.
happens.
So hold on.
Gets the best of us.
You want me to share
A
it?
little
In
bit.
the,
What's
Yeah,
on the,
can you?
yeah.
If you can, that would be awesome. Because
Smitty, what's on the radar? I know this weekend we have a couple of events. We have the Fling on Saturday.
Yes, we do.
Derby, Kansas Team Challenge, Sunday.
Mhm.
Venue maybe still to be determined thanks to old Mother Nature,
Colwich/Herman.
Colwich / somewhere else.
It's in the comments, Lucas.
Okay.
How are we going with the?
Well,
do we have-
I have that handy. Let me run that down. What we got
Perfect.
coming up? We got the Forefathers Fling this weekend, followed by the Limestone Classic in Cottonwood Falls. Duck and crew are running that. Then the next weekend we have the Tootle Toss in Miltonville, which is going to be a blast. Working Team does an awesome job of raising money. And it has the shortest par 4 in Kansas that you will be happy to for, I guarantee you. Following weekend after that, we have one of the longest running tournaments in Kansas, the Doodah Open here in Wichita.
Mm-hmm.
Historically, 4 rounds over 2 days, which is a marathon by today's disc golf terms. My back is hurting even thinking about signing up. And then the 15th of June, we got 2 things going on. We have the Santa Fe Trail Open at Lions, which is hosted by Darren Bottom and crew, the nice crew. And we have the Norton Open by Tim Cummings and everybody way out in Norton, which that is a fun disc golf course if you ever get the chance to go out there. So I don't know if they just play at the town course or not. I know they have 2 courses now, one out at Lake Sebelius and then one in town. So that's what we got coming up disc golf wise. Lucas, can we show some points?
Let's show some points. Here we are.
So the Open dudes haven't changed much. We still got Tate putting the hurt to Schaefer.
Tate
and
is
Andrew
looking
Powell.
pretty hard to beat. You can even tell in the picture. Schaefer's like, man, I don't know if I'm going to be able to beat this guy this year.
Hope this guy breaks his ankle on this throw.
Dude can shred.
Yeah, man. He's playing so many events that if you're shredding and playing all the big events, you're impossible to beat.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
Is he there this weekend?
He's
Last
not.
weekend.
There you go.
He's not.
Shape will gain a few on him. Here we have the best looking man in disc golf, thanks to his mom's good looks.
I don't know how you can tell who that guy in that tent is. I don't know who he is.
So yeah, I'm still somehow leading the MP40 division over Nate Weens and Lucas Potts, and I'm kind of undecided whether I'm playing this weekend or not. I really want to play, but man,
are you signed up?
I am signed up, I think. I'll email the TD in a little bit, but any chance of inclement weather, what I had to deal with in Manhattan, I'm out.
Dude, it's supposed to be perfect. It's supposed to be 90 degrees and like 5 to 10 mile an hour winds. It's going to be amazing.
I'm back in. Maybe. We'll see. So, yeah.
All right. Sorry.
That's us. We all know this guy, the 6 or 8-time MP50 KDJ champion. He knows how many it is. So, and it looks like old Joe Woe is giving him all he wants.
For real.
Because Joe Woe is putting on some miles and playing some events. And the cool thing about Joe is he's trying to score points to play Worlds next year, Am Worlds. So he's a 50-year-old dude who looks at the registration and signs up for the division that's the biggest. So he can collect as many points as he can in advance if that's what's the biggest. So he pretty much bounces back and forth between all the pro divisions, MP40, MP50, and advanced. I think that's pretty cool, and I can't wait to see what happens when he and DB hook up against each other. So,
Oh, yeah.
awesome.
Awesome.
Austin's still up there with the baby pick.
Did not find a new picture.
I didn't look too hard. Somebody's either got to catch this dude or we got to get him to take a selfie. But we got Austin still leading in the advanced division. Joseph Ratt catching him a little bit, I think, from last week, and Eli Smith. Those guys are all Eastern Kansas. So that's, from a KDJ perspective, that's exciting to see that we've got some golfers out east that are definitely playing. So then there's a few of Mattison boys in there too. Mario and Scott Pulley and Eli are all part of that Salt City crew for sure.
Nice. Yep.
And then a guy that we all know, West Sideman, Kevin Neufeld. So,
Oh, this is a tight race, though.
yeah, it is. But Kevin's in charge of the points, so I'm pretty sure he's going to win in the end.
looks like he's got a good advantage to do so. It looks like it's probably as legal as that Frisbee.
And then in the the MA 50 division, we got all the normal characters. We got Money Mike Snyder, who plays a ton of events, leading one of my favorite humans, Greg Bobo Larmer. We got Silent K, Greg Renfro, right there with him, and then Dennis Weaver. I mean, if you could pick a division to play, man, there's a lot of fun dudes in this one for sure.
Well,
And Mace is in there.
yeah, you got some people just in that photo right there that looks like a good time.
Yeah, I don't think this dude's this dude we might see later, right?
I bet we see his points show up here before too much longer.
I don't know if I went that deep.
Oh, okay.
We'll see. So then in the MA2 division, we got another Eastern Kansas guy, couple of them right up there, and then our homeboy, Luis. So
Both Beatrice boys in there.
Yeah, both of them. But Luis is the better brother.
Dang. Well,
Well, point wise, no.
in this case.
Yeah,
in this
point
game.
wise.
So, and that's as far as I went down on the points for this week.
All right.
So,
Yeah, we
Yes, sir.
shuffled right through that.
did our duties. So, man, that was fun, dude. Talking all those
Dude, that was
stuff.
awesome.
That was a blast. I appreciate you guys having me on.
Yeah.
We'll definitely share it out so that people can. If people miss this history lesson, they're not very smart. Where's Jimmy? Jimmy Harris?
What about Jimmy?
I don't know. That's
Caden-
Caden's asking.
Caden asking, "Where's Jimmy?" And then
I don't
Luis
know.
said, "That's right."
yeah, well,
He
those,
is the
those
best.
Beatrice boys are fun. They're good times.
Yes, and Jimmy's-
It's past Jimmy's bedtime.
I think
He's
he was
probably
talking
50.
point wise. Oh,
He's not in there.
yeah, he's not in the top 10 to 50.
He might be in the 60 division. Or
Uh
might
oh.
be.
Here's Enrique.
Oh, boy.
Uh oh. They're
See
tuned
ya,
in.
Lucas. Sugi, they started a fight. So cool. Well, anybody have anything?
Maddie?
No.
Again, just a pleasure to be on with you guys. And if you're ever looking for another spot to fill, be happy to come back and dig into some more stuff.
Oh, well, Mark, we'll pencil you in right now.
Okay.
Yeah. Let us know when you get some cooler stuff.
I'll let you know.
Hey, where's that huge thing of plastic you bought?
Yeah, that like
Oh.
you're gonna use it as an end piece or a
It's actually, it's a paperweight.
paperweight.
1,750 grams of plastic.
Just melted down.
That
Tin-
looks like a unicorn
10
took a
discs.
dump.
Yeah, it is. Took a big old crap.
So that's just 10 discs worth of what? Leftovers?
So this is what was left over in the bin, and so they purged it out to start another color is what they did, I'm sure. Yep. It
It's
kind of
cool.
looks like, if you look at it, this white turns to this blue, and then they must have poured this color and it went to this pink. So it's two different. They went from white to blue, and then went from this kind of cream color to pink.
Yeah, it's sick.
Pretty cool.
It's another cool thing.
Yeah.
Matches my shirt.
So, yeah, well, in closing, all I have to say is, Lucas, you're, when we get off of this call here, you're no longer friends with these two guys until after Sunday when we put the smackdown on you at teams.
I've already started practicing holding the
Oh
trophy.
yeah,
Like,
you guys
just
had
making
this when
sure
you
that I get the
registered.
muscles
Right when you
ready.
registered, I'm like, all right, they want the trophy really bad.
Oh, Draco drawing tonight. Luis is correct.
Oh yeah, we have a Draco, and I have these names. Hold on.
well, it sounds like preparations went very well for this month's episode.
Hey, we good. We're gonna make this work.
We a little too used to doing the the
The
post produced,
Yeah.
where we can fit in stuff. We could have. I mean, we could have went 6 hours with Maddie and
Oh, easy.
Well, that's
Cut
all right. 'Cause
all.
we can save it for next time.
There you go.
All right.
Leave them wanting more.
Luis, am I missing you? Did you share the last podcast? Because I don't have you.
Guarantee
Honor
you,
system.
I would
You want to
guarantee
you
you
want to
did.
win your own one? Yeah, we'll just put him in here just for being cool. All right. So this is for the Draco. Also, we're giving away a hat tonight. A Win Dummies hat, exclusive. Okay. If you win, it will be for the hat then, Luis. All right, here we go. This is for the Draco first, unless Luis wins.
You know,
Who's gonna?
that's how we'll know we made it is when we get a Win Dummies hat in the Mattison Museum.
That's a one of three.
Oh, Patsy, you win
Patsy
a
wins
Draco.
that.
Congratulations, Patsy. I will bring it to the tournament on Saturday. Actually,
Leave her
I'll bring
in.
it to flights.
Leave her in.
Okay.
Let her win the hat too. We need
Okay,
some
we'll
good
leave
looking
that.
advertising.
We'll leave her in. We'll leave her in. Now, for a Win Dummies hat exclusive. Who's it going to be?
Patsy.
Open tab project. It's going to be Tim Brown. Oh, it's going to look good in Salina. Tim, that's going to look good on your head. Oh, wow, Timmy. All right.
There we go.
So I'll meet with Tim there. Thanks for reminding me, Luis. That was on me. Y'all holding it down for us. All right, that's all we got. Anything else from you boys?
This next show, can you believe, Ronnie, we'll be at the World Championships at the next show?
This will be our second show from a World Championships. How crazy is that?
And by at the World Championships, I mean you sitting in that room and me sitting in this room.
Well, maybe we can. I don't know. So maybe we
Oh,
could do it.
brother.
Maybe we could do it. Pick that night while we're up there. But I might be wore out from walking the country club, or you're walking a golf course 50 miles from Emporia. So
Picking 28 ticks off my rear end.
So maybe
Can't
from
wait.
the home studios might be the best way to do it.
So, yeah, I don't have anything else outside of that. I'm looking forward to disc golf this weekend, though. Not only playing, but trying to get caught up on the OTB. My man, Young Thin Bird, is back in action. I can't wait.
Yep, disc golf's better when he's there. I hope he's healthy. I hope
It
he's
is.
ready. I don't know how I'm going to work a whole lot of OTB in, especially on Sunday while we're out playing. But I'll figure out a way. I always figure out a way to get my pro tour in. So can't wait. Maddie, and that's really all I have to say. Maddie, appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
It's been
dude.
forever.
Thank you so
For
much.
sure.
Uh,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
yeah,
Can't wait to have you back in and
absolutely.
learn some more, brother.
Right on. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks,
All
man.
right. All right, everyone. Take care.
Later.
We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye now.
Later.